shite, she looks halfway decent today. I really actually wanted to do my makeup for all my videos to look halfway decent, but I don't always have the time, which is why we have makeup done and no hair done. You usually get one with me. You don't get both. Not all the time, especially not now with a little one. So anyway, in today's video, because it's my fourth video, I kind of wanted to go over my content, I guess, and like what my channel is about, because a lot of people gear their channels towards, you know, one thing or things that are a lot alike. So, you know, you'll have your makeup people who do makeup tutorials, makeup reviews, and stuff like that. And you have like nail people, and then just beauty industry in general, fashion, you know, everybody, a lot of people just seem to have, you know, they gear their channel towards one thing. And now that this is obviously not a full-time job or anything for me, because I'm super on the low maintenance end of this YouTube totem pole, but I guess I would consider my channel, so I guess I would consider my channel like a lifestyle channel. I don't know, because I think I just talk about things or have subjects of videos that I like or pertain to me or pertain to my life. So like I talked about struggling mental health in the quarantine, and then I addressed the petitions about opening the salons and stuff, since I am a licensed cosmetologist. You know, I touched on that. And then I, you know, made a little funny video. I don't know how funny I am, but I thought it was funny, about doing your hair at home, quarantine or not, but either way, doing your hair at home. So, but I think, you know, there's a lot of other things that I would like to talk about. I sat down the other night and I tried to like brainstorm subjects, like, oh, what's my next video going to be about? What can I talk about? So I just kind of sat down and brainstormed something. Kind of, like I said, they pertain to me, and you know, if anybody else can find it relatable, maybe that's what my channel can just be, is relatable. You know, whether it helps somebody out or somebody gets a laugh out of it. Like I said, I don't know how funny I am, but I don't know, so it's going to be a bunch of different things. I don't think I'm always going to have the same stuff. Of course, I love doing makeup, so I'll do plenty of get ready with me's. I might even take a shot at makeup tutorials. I don't know, like, I love doing makeup, and I always get compliments when I do my makeup really good, but I just don't know if I have enough confidence to like actually sit and film myself doing a tutorial for like other people to possibly try and follow. I don't know if I have a whole lot of confidence in that yet, but it's gonna be like how someone else does their makeup or anything like that. So I think it'll just be a bunch of different things. I also really want to talk about motherhood. I'm a new mom, and it's funny because I never wanted children. Literally, my entire life. I used to always say, I don't want children, I never want children. But I am, I got a 1-year-old. Anyway, so there's just a lot of things that I want to talk about. So my channel is not going to be geared towards one thing or another. Yes, there'll be a lot about beauty and hair and stuff like that. But I just kind of wanted to keep it open to anything. But, so that's just a little disclaimer. That's just what I wanted to put out there at the opening of my video. So, I think today I do want to talk about being a new mom. I think I'm going to go there. It's kind of scary for me. So like I said, I never wanted children, like, ever. I used to always think growing up, like, I guess I was born without that mom gene. There was never a point in my life where I was like, oh my god, I want children, and I can't wait for like play dates and soccer games, and like, I never had that like burning urge, like I have to have a family. And matter of fact, children like, I do not like cutting children's hair, but then again, I don't think any cosmetologist really likes cutting children's hair. So like, and then like when I would see some people and the way they parent and just the way their kids act, and so like I try not to be judgy because you don't know what's going on in their household, but I can't. Like, children drive me up an absolute wall. They get on my last nerve. So I just never wanted kids. I was like, I don't know, that's not for me. I like my sleep. I like going out when I want, where I want, doing what I want. I don't have to find a sitter. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. I can travel. I can do whatever I want. I like that. yes, that is what I wanted in life. Like, and I never swayed from that. And then when I met my husband, I still never swayed from that. I told him, I said, I knew someone who was actually going through a divorce when me and him met, because him and his wife were not seeing eye to eye on the whole children thing. And there were other things going on too, but they weren't seeing eye to eye on the children thing. So when it started to even get relatively serious, I just laid all my cards out on the table. I was like, look, dude, if you are looking for like white picket fence, family picnics and stuff, you might be with the wrong one, because I don't want children. I have no interest in having children. And I was very open about that, and I learned very quickly that other people, it's just like weird to other people. They just thought I was crazy, or they didn't like hearing it, that I didn't want children. I'm like, well, whose life is it? Is it mine? Because I'm pretty sure my womb, my life. Like, I get to make the decisions on my own body and my own life. But I was so open about it, and I didn't know that being so open about not wanting children was so offensive to people. It like caught me off guard, so I had to like step back and be like, maybe I need to stop talking about how much I don't want kids, because it's offending other people that I don't want children. But anyway, so me and my husband met. I came out and I told him that. I was like, look, this is what it is. And he agreed, and he was like, okay, if it changes later on, we'll discuss it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, I'm here for the long haul. And I was like, all right, cool. So we were together, let's see, we just celebrated 7 years together. So we were probably together for 5 years, and had been married for like two or three, I think. And I started to think about it. Now, what changed is my sister had a baby, and I have step siblings. My parents are divorced and remarried, so I have a lot of step siblings, and they had children. But when my actual sister had a baby, and I would see her on Christmas and like birthdays and stuff like that, like it was so fun. I mean, I know those things are permanent, and that shouldn't be your decision maker on whether or not you want children, but I don't know, it just kind of opened up a part of me that I hadn't experienced before. I am the youngest, so I never really had interactions with young children. I have cousins and stuff, but most of my cousins are, within 5 to 10 years of my age range. So I just never really, as a grown person, I don't know what to do with children sometimes before I had one. I was just like, when they would be in my chair and they're just like talking me to death, I'm like, what do I do with this? Why are you talking? Like, it was so bad. I just did not even know how to interact with children. I'm like, ugh. So anyway, so when my niece came along and we started having all that stuff, I decided that I wanted to. What I didn't want is to be 50 years old regretting that I never had any, and now it's too late. And of course I don't regret having her now. Like, that wasn't ever an option. So I told myself by 32 or none at all. If I don't have any kids by 32, then I'm not doing it. Because me personally, is my personal opinion, not that it's wrong, because I know plenty of people do it, I did not want to be an older mom. I did not want to be 70 years old at my kid's high school graduation. So I said 32 or not at all. And I got pregnant at 29, and I had my baby at 30. Which is fine. That's how old my mom was when she had me. So I guess that's what changed was seeing my niece. And also, I had never been with anybody that I ever considered having children with. Like, no, that's a story for a whole nother time. I was engaged once before I met my husband. That's a whole nother story in itself. But thank baby Jesus, we never had children. And I still never wanted kids, so that would have been a bit like, but, so I had never been with anybody I really wanted kids with, and then I just didn't want to go through life and one day regret it and be like, I wish I had that, I wish I had that, I wish I had a child, I wish I had that love, I wish I had, just that connection. And I guess I wanted to mean more. Like, I don't know if I'm saying it right or if that makes any sense, but like, wanted to have more of a purpose in life, if that makes any sense. Like, I didn't, and my husband said, oh, you didn't want to just be with me. No, it's not that I didn't want it to just be me and him. I wanted something else to live for. I guess, I don't know if that sounds right, but my mind changed, and we started trying. We had a vacation planned with some friends, and I was like, well, you know, we gotta kind of calculate how this is going down, because I can't be 9 months pregnant. They won't let you on a cruise ship after like 24 weeks. So when I told him that, you know, I think I do want a kid. I think I do want a kid. You know, we talked about it for a while. And I went off birth control. I was on and off birth control because, like I said, we were going on a vacation, and I didn't want to be 8 months pregnant. So, like I said, she wasn't not planned. She wasn't planned. It's like, we weren't preventing it. We'll just say that. We weren't preventing it. So, that's the story of how I decided that we wanted to start trying and stuff, like, because my whole family, like, I was actually scared. This is crazy. I was actually scared to get pregnant and to tell people, because I had gone my whole life saying I did not want children. This is not for me. I do not want kids. And I was hell-bent on that. And you can ask anyone. So I was kind of like, I don't want to say ashamed, but I was kind of like, man, I done changed my mind. All these damn people was right. Y'all change their mind one day. Now I gotta go back, tail between my legs. Oh, I'm pregnant. But no one reacted that way. Everyone was happy for me, especially grandparents. We have a lot of grandparents for our baby, because both of our parents, my husband and I, are divorced and remarried. So she has 8 grandparents. So everyone was excited. I mean, I didn't think anyone would throw it back in my face. I would. I'd be like, bitch, I thought you didn't want no kids. What you doing? And now my baby is a year old, and I cannot tell you how many times since like almost the day I popped her out that people are like, oh, you have another one. You guys, and I know some of you are watching this, that is the same as, when are you having kids? When are you having kids? And me telling y'all that I don't want a damn kid. But I will say that we don't really want a second one, at least not anytime soon. I'm still very much on the fence of having another one. I went through a really tough time with postpartum, and some days, she's a year old, and it can last up to 2 years, and some days I think I still really struggle. I just have a really hard time. I have no patience in life. Zero. None. No patience. I thought it would get better, and I thought it would be better at least with your own kid. No. No, sir. No. I have no patience in life, and I have a really hard time, like, multitasking and juggling things. And I just know that adding a second kid to the mix, like, I'm pretty sure my head would blow off of my shoulders. Like, my husband is a godsend. Like, I would cry and cry and cry and cry almost every day the first like 2 weeks that we had our baby, because I just felt like he was so together. Like, he just was like on it. He's like, okay, we try this, we do this, we do this. Meanwhile, I'm sitting on the couch, like, just, you know, hormones are a bitch to begin with. I have to keep getting up to let the dogs in and out, so you're dealing with your hormones going haywire. Those are settling down. And then you have this brand new baby, and I just felt so inadequate. Like, I read all the books, I did everything. I took the classes, I read the books, you know, I was like, I'm going to study for this. It's like the biggest exam of my life. I'm going to study for this. And let me tell y'all, once that baby is here, it's all that shit just, it don't even matter. All that shit you read, I mean, some of it matters, it will help, but it's like, once that baby is here, you winging it. You're winging it. You are trying to figure it out as you go. And I really struggled. Definitely the first 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even the first month, I really, really struggled. I just felt like I was not meant to be a mom. And I had felt and it didn't help that I felt my whole life that I just knew I didn't want children. And so when she was here and I was really struggling, I just felt like I made a mistake. I am not meant to be a mom. I'm not cut out for this. I don't have the right genes. I don't have the right, you know, brain wires or something. I don't know. Like, I just felt like my husband was so on it, and he just did everything. Like, he was he could just do anything. And I just felt so bad. And it was really, really hard. I did not expect any of this. Like, I knew about postpartum. I'm already previously diagnosed with depression. I'm already on medication. And so I thought that would actually help because I knew the warning signs. I knew the trigger signs. I was already on medication. I didn't think it helped. I think postpartum made it even worse. I won't forget, there was one day she cried all day long, 8 hours straight. She had really bad tummy issues. She had reflux. She had gas. I did try to breastfeed. It did not work out for me. Don't come for me, crazy organic mamas. I tried. It did not work for me. And then I actually read later on that a lot of physicians suggest that if you previously suffer from depression or you are already diagnosed with depression, you should actually not try breastfeeding because it is so, so hard. So, like, hands up to mamas that can do it and for a long period of time. I had a plan to do it for 5 to 6 months. That was my plan. No. I tried to breastfeed the first 3 days. It was not working for me, and not even like a I choose this type of way, like physically. It was not working. I was not producing a lot of milk. She was starving. She was screaming, and it was horrible. So I decided to pump, and still I just did not produce enough breast milk. So I was whatever I did get, I would get like maybe 2 to 3 ounces each pump. And I'm talking, I was sitting on the pump for 30 minutes every 2.5 hours. And it wasn't working. But what I did get for about the first month of her life, I did mix with formula. So eventually I knew I was gonna have to put her on formula. This was not working for me. And it was so draining and so exhausting to have to literally sit on the pump for a half hour every 2.5 hours, morning, noon, and night, 24 hours a day, around the clock. I would pump enough so we'd have a few bottles so that my husband could feed her in the middle of the night while I sat and pumped, because if I had to get up, feed her, change her, get her back to bed, and then sit on the pump, by the time that's all said and done, you get like an hour maybe of sleep before you have to do it all over again. You are literally delirious. And if there's any new moms or soon to be new moms out there watching this right now, I don't say all of this to scare you. I mean, it is scary, but it's kind of a take this to heart and know that it's normal and know that you're not alone. It's kind of why I'm saying, like, I don't want to scare anybody, but I mean, this is the reality of what it is. And I only have one kid, so one of my best friends has 3. I can't do it. I don't know. I don't understand. She must be Superwoman. I don't know. So I tried to breastfeed. It didn't work. I pumped for about a month. So then we had to go through 4 different formulas before we could find one that was okay on her tummy. And then she was on reflux medication. So until we got her on that reflux medication and we got her on that formula, I mean, I'm telling you, that day that she spent crying for 8 hours, I was a mess. I was a hot mess. I will never forget, there was one day that I was just sitting on the couch and my husband was home and I just walked out. I wanted to run away, but I was just going to check the mail. I'm like, I want to check the mail. We have 2 different versions of that story, and I'll probably believe his more than I believe mine because I was in such a fog, and I don't even remember a lot of what happened in that first month. Like, later on when me and him talked about it, like, I didn't think it was as bad as apparently it was. Like, my postpartum and trying to adjust and trying to deal with everything, I did not think it was as bad as apparently it was. And he's definitely got a better memory than I do. So I thought, I'm just like, I gotta go check the mail. I don't even care where I go. I just need to get out of this house and go check the mail before I lose my fucking mind. So I think his version of the story is I just left. And he was like, where are you going? And I just like left. But my version of the story is like, I have to go check the mail. I have to get out. I don't care what I do, but I have to get out of this house. And I did try to get out regularly with her. I would take her to the park and we would walk around the park, usually about 3 days a week, because I couldn't sit at home. Like, it was just driving me nuts to just sit at home. And I don't know why, but it just made me so nervous. And, but then again, going out with her made me nervous too. I was like, am I prepared enough? What if I mess up? What if she gets hungry? What if I don't have enough diapers? What if I don't have to change of clothes? Like, just so much stuff was going through my mind. So I originally thought that I was struggling with baby blues. But then actually, as more time went on, I really believed that I had a pretty, not terrible, but a pretty good case of postpartum. My husband ended up telling me later on that it was hard to get me out of bed, like, the first 2 weeks or so. He was like, Kendall, do you not remember that, like, you would not spend any time with her? You would literally just lay in bed all day. Or I would try to. He would not let me. And I don't remember this. In my mind, I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. But when she was born, I went to the hospital on a Friday night. She was born Saturday evening, like almost 24 hours later, she was born. I had not slept in well over 24 hours. By the time I was done giving birth and they got us into our room and everything, it was probably 30 some hours. I had not slept. And then I didn't sleep anymore because I told the hospital I was trying to breastfeed. And one night, I was there for 2 nights. One night I asked them, can you please take her to the nursery? I had not slept in a very long time. And I think I got 2 hours of sleep. And they brought her back in there and they were like, she's hungry, she's very fussy. So anyway, in my mind, I just thought I was just trying to catch up. Like, you're home with, he stayed home with me for 2 weeks during my maternity leave. So I'm like, anyway, you're home, you're like, I'm going to catch up. But then I forget, hello, you're the food, like, you're the mom, get your ass up. And that was another thing that I felt really guilty with, that I really struggled. I did not get that all-encompassing, like, earth-shattering, oh my God, I'm a mom, this is my baby, at first. And I really, really struggled with that for the first week or two. Like, I really thought something was wrong with me because I just always read all these posts and, you know, people have babies and just stories and, like, people are just so in love and, oh my God, my baby. This is, like, of course I was happy when she came into the world and I just wanted to snuggle her and hold her and, you know, love on her. But I did not get, like, right away that, like, just crazy, intense feeling. And I was like, something is wrong with me. I don't like my baby. What is wrong with me? Why do I not feel this way? And I really, really struggled with that. And I think that, because I felt like that right away, and it was always in the back of my mind since the day she was born. I think that's what really, really started my spiral into my postpartum. I really, really struggled. So, I don't know if you're a new mom or you're about to be a new mom, just understand that you're not alone in anything. And do not hesitate to reach out to anyone, like anyone at all. Like, I love to help people. Like, it's probably actually one of my downfalls. I like to help people to a fault. But because I'll take on someone else's problems and they're not my problems, but it's always been one of my things. So I just encourage any new moms that, like, if you're feeling lonely or you're overwhelmed, and you're gonna be overwhelmed, but there's a whole nother level to being overwhelmed if you have postpartum. Reach out, ask someone for help. Don't be like, no, I got it. Like, and I struggled with that with my own husband. I don't know that I resented him as much as I resented myself. I was like, wow, bitch, you can't even take care of your own kid. Like, get your shit together. And it's not about that. You have a lot going on. You just created an entire new life. And your hormones are crazy pants. Crazy pants. There were days where I just sat and cried on the couch. Just cried for no reason. Like, I didn't even have a reason. I was just bawling my eyes out. So you have to make decisions for yourself. And one of my decisions, a big one, was that I stopped breastfeeding and I stopped pumping because it was making things worse for me. I was really getting pissed off that I would have to sit on that pump for so long and then to get nothing. And then I was even more upset that I couldn't provide for her and I couldn't actually breastfeed her. But you have to understand that a fed baby is a happy baby. And a fed baby is a healthy baby. And I don't care what these crazy people out here that shame moms for formula feeding say. They can shove it up their ass. I don't care. A fed baby is a healthy baby. And a happy baby. And a happy baby makes for a sane mama. So just keep that in mind. You have to make decisions for what's best for you and what's best for your baby. So I think that's about all I have on that. I love my daughter. I love being a mom. it's kind of been weird since I never wanted children. And it did take, it did take a little bit for me to finally get that connection. Like I said, when I struggled with that connection in the beginning, it took me a little bit to get that connection, but it will come. If you're like me and you struggle to have that connection right at first, it will come. Like when I first went back to work, I just wanted to get back home. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to come back home. Well, now being at home every single day for 6 weeks, I've realized that I am not cut out to be a stay-at-home mom. Well, first of all, I'm a lazy bitch anyway, and this shit makes me even lazier because I will straight up turn on cartoons, sit on the floor, and play with her for a little bit, and then I'll get on the couch, and I'll just be laying on the couch just watching her play. Make sure, what are you eating? What you got in your hand? Put that down. And I don't want to do anything because there's nothing to do, and it's driving me bonkers. Even though I love the time I'm spending with my baby, I am not a stay-at-home mom. It drives me bonkers. So anyway, that's what I have on being a new mom. I think I touched on everything. So anyway, it was nice talking with you guys. See you next time.